Hi, my name is Lemar, and for more than 2 years now, I've been working with Ruben. And with this video, I want to share my journey with you, tell you how I've grown, what I've discovered about myself, and what the way forward for me is. Um, and really tell you how Ruben has been an amazing guide for me these last 2 years. Um, so yeah, um, I actually met Ruben now more than 2 years ago at one of his workshops, and what really stood out for me, and I think also for him, was this undiscovered primal power that came out at that point with me. Um, and I think we were both quite blown away from it, and that was pretty much the start of what has become like a 2 year journey together. Ruben guiding me, um, and me becoming part of where Ruben has worked, Reclaim Your Inner Throne, turning into a mentorship program there, and various one-on-one coaching periods with Ruben, trying to find my discover my passion, going for my passion, expressing it, course correcting, of course, a million times throughout the throughout the throughout the time, and at the same time discovering so much about myself, patterns, addictions, where I come from, and how things from the past are still driving me. Really making that conscious, trying to overcome them, get a grip on them, and um, yeah, accept them in some way. Also work with them, and instead of having them um, control or lead my life, that I am actually in control and can choose what I want. Um, so after this first workshop, I had various questions because of what came up there, and Ruben was kind enough to give me an hour of his time and just talk everything through, what that means and how that stands with masculinity and primal power, and really what's might be deep down inside me. Um, so that got a lot of clarification for me, and um, I guess that was the starting point of um, more that would come later. At that time, also the pandemic, Corona, hit here in the Netherlands and the rest of the world at various times. And that really gave me a lot of free time, extra free time, and a lot of time with myself, which I didn't really have I didn't have things to do to use to for the time. Um, I didn't know what I could do with all that free time. So the only thing I could do was just listen to what would play along in my mind. And what really came up was a search for yeah, like, what do I want to do really? What In what way do I want to um, give back or support um, my surroundings? What do I want to build in this world? What do I want to create? So I had this void of purpose, really. Um, so me and Ruben came into contact again. We talked this through, and that was pretty much the start of the first one-on-one coaching one-on-one coaching period, where which took 6 months, where we went on a very deep dive into what I want to create in this world, where my passion lies, and how I can use them really to how I can use them. Along the way, of course, there was also a lot of finding out all kinds of obstacles within me, challenges I had to overcome, a lot of fear for showing myself, rejection, a lot of perfectionism holding me back to create, because I was always thinking like, oh shit, is this good enough? Will it be accepted? What if people are like, oh, this isn't Lemar, we don't know him anymore, go back to your old way, the old way you were, so we know you again. But in the end, with of course with a lot of guidance from Ruben and support and constant checking in and accountability and diving deep into the psyche and finding ways to for me to work with my challenges and still do what I deep down actually want to do. A lot of beautiful came out. First in the form of a smoothie, kind of smoothie bar ID thing, where I would create various smoothies on video and then post them on social media and whatnot, which in the end turned out more into a way to where I would actually ask other people what their passion is and why they're passionate about it, and how they want to or would like to express it, kind of in a way which kind of in the same way which encompasses my story, where I do have a lot of energy and passion, but I don't know, or I'm afraid of expressing it or following it through, and so really giving them their moment of shine, where they're allowed to talk about their passion in a safe space, and hopefully giving them a spark by talking about it to actually follow through or put more effort or more energy into their passion and what they actually want. So that was a really interesting discovery with Ruben, really looking at like the, what he called the biggest wound of me would be my biggest gift for the world. So really helping others with what I struggle with was just a perfect fit. It felt really nice to pursue that and express my passion in that way, really. And it also helped me like land like from these huge ideas of what I would like to do or how I would create and give back. It was a lot of like floating around and all over the place, and throughout that period working with Ruben, it really funneled down to like this more focused, grounded place, which would be possible in reality and not stay in this like abstract, fantasized world in my head, um, which would always be too big for my perfectionism to actually follow through with. But really, together, bringing it down to the core and to a grounded essence would was the way to make small steps, concrete steps, and not be held back by the fears of perfectionism and all the other things. And at the end of that coaching period, a new round of Reclaim Your Inner Throne started, and Ruben told me that that would be a great way to solidify even further what I want and what I want to be in this world, and how I want to use my power, or even first of all find my power, be okay with my power, and then use my power to express or create what I want. So he suggested that I would join that 15-week or back then that 15-week during course, where it would be a more focused deep dive on the past and what has happened in the past and how that is now expressing itself through addictions, where I would avoid certain things by eating chocolate or really diving into the dynamics with my mom, diving into the dynamics with my dad, and how they're still weaving through my day-to-day life now, even though they're on the other side of the country, but how still their messages or their implicit messages are still running through me and actually running my life instead of me running my own life. So again, it was a super deep dive into more figuring out how stuff is running me, and trying to cut myself free from that. Working with other men from that course, helping each other, calling each other out, really serving each other to grow together. So for me, that was a perfect way to even solidify more the one-on-one coaching I had with Ruben. So yeah, Ruben's suggestion was a great fit. Was a great fit for me. And also during that program, during that course, and of course because of the one-on-one coaching, Ruben picked up various skills I had that would possibly be useful, and at the same time he also noticed really my drive to help others and also aid them in a similar way as Ruben does on what people want, and expressing their deepest desires and passion for what they actually want to do and bring and become in this world. So I got invited to join the apprenticeship or the mentorship program of Reclaim Your Inner Throne, which is like it's pretty much a learning environment where I would be part of the facilitating team together next to Ruben, and slowly but surely stepping more into my leadership, facilitating powers, and um, growing those skills. And yeah, from the facilitating point, helping the men that are in the program with their challenges, mirroring them, serving them to um, cut loose from their strings and be able to access their power. Which for me was another went another a lot of things also there came up with taking the lead, leading men, calling them out. For example, a lot of struggles again popped up. I discovered more things that would hold me back from stepping into that role, taking the lead, really showing myself. So throughout that mentorship program, there were again moments where I would check in with Ruben, and we would focus on various aspects, and through visualizations and meditations and habits, finding the root, working with it, alleviating it, accepting it, letting it slowly dissipate over time, and then not be letting that fear be something that pulls me down, but I can allow it to be there and be okay with it and still act on how I want to act. And I did the mentorship program for 2 rounds, so like 1 year in total, 2.5 years. Each time learning more about myself and figuring out more about my past and how my past is still running through me, and trying to take the lead and stay in the reins, and yeah, seeing if and at the same time really seeing myself grow over those past 2 rounds, over the last year, that is. Being able to be more okay with taking the lead. What first was more of an observing role became me more in the foreground. I would be challenged to. There were times where Ruben also didn't have was unlucky to catch COVID, or had other personal challenges where that would mean that he wouldn't be able to be there for certain calls with the men during the course, which gave me the possibility to actually step into my role as a facilitator, and take on that challenge. And even though a lot of anxiety came up to lead a call, a 2-hour call with various men, and actually having or wanting to serve them, gave a lot of nervous, but it also felt like, okay, this is an opportunity to really step into that role and actually becoming what I want. So okay, there's fear, but I have to take this step. So that's really amazing. I wouldn't be able. I wasn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't think I would be able to do that like 1 year ago, or um, yeah, the learning curve has or my growth. I'm really surprised, or pleasantly surprised. I don't know how to say that. uh, really happy with or yeah, surprised with how much I've grown in the last year or 2 years together working with Ruben. Um, and that that mentorship period ended. Well, first of all, because there was a bit of a change within the inner throne, within inner throne, um, and at the same time because the round ended, we finished off actually with a few more one-on-one sessions where we would really focus on the core things that would still hold me back, like being able to fully step into the leadership role, being hesitant about expressing a bit of my power, thinking I would turn into my stepdad, who in my eyes was a bit aggressive, and I don't want to become him. So if I when I use my power, I think that I'm him, and then actually affecting people in a bad way. So that's why I often dumb down my energy out of fear. So we really dove into that, and with a lot of beautiful visualizations from Ruben, and really guiding me down a meditative state, through images that came up, and analyzing what they mean, and pointing me in the right direction. Like a lot more again became clear, and gave me a very clear vision on triggers and the feelings that come up when I feel something from the past trying to grab me, or thoughts about me being someone that I don't want to be, or fears that pop up. Really getting a clear sense of when that is happening, and then consciously being able to notice that, and stay with myself instead of being overwhelmed from those fears, and in turn, and so being expressing, doing what's actually what I want, and also in turn noticing that when I step into my power, it is actually not me turning into my aggressive stepdad, or any other toxic thought I have, but actually seeing that my power helps the other person, and he appreciates me for stepping into that power, and using that power in a positive way, and helping him grow, and being his support, really, when he needs it, and when the other person needs it, and can do it alone, and being grateful that I am capable of doing it for now, or being grateful me taking over part of that fear of him, so he can grow further, if that makes any sense. um, so all in all, like the last two and a half years, been a been a hell of a ride. um, I I I just joined that workshop because I wanted a bit more of the masculine feeling, and it turned out into a um, massive discovery about my own power, what is holding me back, and how to overcoming that, stepping more into um, what I want to become, what I want to create, what I want to give. Um, Getting a way clearer vision of what I want, and every day that vision becomes clearer, and um, in concrete steps working my way towards it, and at the same time already stepping into that role for as good as I already can, because there is again this part of the perfectionism that says you should first be fully capable before you can teach it, but or before you can be that person. But the truth is that I can already now, from where I am, uh, help the help others that are a bit more behind me already. So I don't have to be perfect before I can do anything. So yeah, really super grateful for opportunity to meeting Ruben, and him giving all the support he has given me, and really giving me all the extra time that he has given me, going the extra mile, way more than way more often than he probably should have done. Um, but that just, for me, that just shows that he really wants to help you come where you want to go. And yeah, I'm super curious what the future will bring, and how that's going to be, and in what way Ruben is going to play a role in that still. How much more I will discover about myself, and yeah, what else there is install for me, or yeah. So yeah, just talking about this now for, I believe I'm talking for half an hour now. Anyway, just talking about this again, really, I just really feel again that energy bubbling up. Like, yes, this is, I'm on the right path. This is what I want. I can feel that fire bubbling up, and yeah, really want to go after and create what it is that I want.